Here we see a picture of a nice factory. This factory produces and distributes industrial products, using a business system, a so-called ERP solution, to manage all activities. In this video, we ask whether the benefits of the application of this system is good enough. Has the company obtained all the benefits that were expected? To get an answer, it is necessary that we look inside the company, and look at the prerequisites regarding data that must be respected and fulfilled for the system to function as intended. Figuratively speaking, it is a bad thing to put a V6 engine in a horse-drawn carriage, without changing the carriage too. Let's look at a few issues that are more or less common in many companies. Wait a minute before you disconnect the video. At the end, we have a few tips for improvements to become more lean with IT in operations. We start by putting a few things in order in a company's operations management structure. Click on Forecast. You have an idea of what will be sold next year or period. This forecasting is necessary and proper to tell the system if your production lead times is longer than the delivery time your customer expects, and if everything does not need to send out as stocked items. The prognosis is always associated with some uncertainty. Let's say that it is 80% correct. Click on Sales Orders. We must assume that the data for sales orders are always 100% correct, even though we know that there is ongoing changes to the sales order backlog. So, a combination of forecasts and actual sales orders represents the company's main or master plan. You must have a plan for the overall planning. Without it, everything is just something you hope for. This master plan is the driving force for the planning system. Click on Master Data. One can also say that these data are a company's precious crown jewels. The interesting question is, does our data reflect the real world, in the form of properties, such as delivery times, safety stock, bill of materials accuracy, process routes, queuing times, capacity, etc.? Let's say that we have an accuracy of 90%. Although this is a high number in many companies. Click on Inventory and Order Data. Are all inventories balances in the system correct? Were all plan order start and end dates correct for sales, production, procurement, etc.? Let us assume that all data are 90% accurate. Although this is a high percentage too. Click on Material and Capacity Planning. Here we start the planning engine. This engine is a great calculator to suggest how much, when and what to be manufactured and purchased, in addition to what else is cooking at the moment, and in order to satisfy the actual and expected demand. Click on the production or purchase orders. Oops, it says 65%. Now we must face a statistical fact. The results of the calculations are not correct. Because of the expected uncertainty and inaccuracy of data and transactions, we must realize that the performance of planned and changed engine proposals only is 65% correct. However, we do not supply with a delivery performance of 65%. In contrast, we deliver to a performance of 95% or higher to our customers. If this was not so, we would not be in business anymore. But what is it that makes the difference of 30% between business system performance and what actually happens? The 30% difference is indirect or overhead production costs to get things done. Too much stock, shortage controllers, foremen, order chasers, overtime, double data entry staff, general firefighting, unplanned expensive subcontractor orders, informal systems for getting things done. Planners who does something with Excel sheets to survive, expensive late transport costs and more. The Danish Industry Association has calculated an average of 35% indirect costs for Danish manufacturing companies. What percent is the indirect or overhead manufacturing costs in your company? You now have several options. One possibility is to continue as usual. If you run a business that is not near to meet these data requirements, you will be stuck in inefficiency, and cannot survive, unless you produce something others cannot make. Another possibility is to redefine work and reallocate resources to reduce the 30% indirect costs. Organizational named. This is to establish production engineering responsibility to become more lean in operations. Strive to eliminate paperwork where possible, and you are removing confusion. Strive for transparency and accuracy of data in real time. Without it, it is merely just guesswork. In addition to the previous option, use simple decision solutions, based on common sense and practical experience, and make these solutions available to everyday users. Here, it is a good thing to talk with real production people, who also have knowledge in production IT. Apply common sense, to ensure that users get the simple and the right tools, while recognizing the benefits of using them. Otherwise, they will find other ways to perform their jobs. Thank you for your attention.